Thank you.
For the picture with the stewardess, she was like, I'll take a picture. Can I take a picture with him? Because we were gonna get the captain too, but when we went up there, the captain was eating, so I was like, no, I don't
No.
want to do that.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, they were like, they didn't even realize he was, a lot of people didn't realize he was on the plane because he made like no noise.
Oh,
Yeah, he was so good.
yeah, I saw the picture. I'm like, he has his wings. Did they give him wings?
Oh, I should have asked for wings.
Yeah. See, you can put that in your photo album, like his first trip.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, I'm close to figuring out who committed the crime in the book that I'm reading. People who are having high school reunions need to read that book.
Brittany, she said she's supposed to be going to her high school reunion sometime.
Oh, she needs to read that book. Are we supposed to get rain today? People are saying we should. Is it like a 0.011% chance?
Something like that. Cause it, I mean, it's been raining like in Fredericksburg and Comfort up north.
Mm-hmm.
It was hotter. Look, it's 73.9, it's closer to 74 degrees in here. Okay, Judge, we're gonna have, there's like 15-minute sheet side, it's too hot. Is your client in custody?
No.
No, no, yes, yes, who's your client? That's custody.
Mahia, how did it go this weekend for you? Yeah. Try not to go outside in the heat. I was in the heat.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it was the Juneteenth parade, so I was in the parade. But I feel sorry for the people because they had a fish fry. Can you imagine at Comanche Park, you're working the fry? I don't know how they do it. I would just pass out from the heat. Yes. You're welcome. Yes, I mean, it was a great time. I had a chance to see people I hadn't seen before. And then I had a chance to educate people because people think that Black people don't need sunscreen. I told them that's a myth. I'm like, hence the name sunscreen. So I had to tell everybody, where's your sunscreen? And then there were two young guys, I think they were probably junior high and high school, on the corner in the hot sun. You know, they sell water bottles in order to get to, they're trying to get to Tennessee for their football team. And if I had $1 million, I would just tell them, babies, go back in the house. Here's some money for you all to get to Tennessee. But they were such a gentleman. They're like, thank you, ma'am. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm old now. I'm a ma'am. But they were great guys.
First rows for Lake people.
All right, everybody, good morning. Today is going to be a busy day because it's a Monday and a Tuesday. That's the way it works at the courthouse. When I call your name, you need to stand if you're able to let me know you're here. If you don't speak up when I call your name, I'm going to assume you're not here and a warrant may be issued for your arrest. Martha Diaz. Okay. And Deputy Laura, could you make sure she's not in custody?
Yes.
Jesse Eno. In custody, we have Alexander Williams, Wardell Lemon. Richard Thomas. Jonathan Boyd. Daniel Flores. John Albert Casanova Paez. Okay. In custody, we have Arturo Contreras. Thank you. Laura Romero. In custody, we have Miguel Rangel, Raul Reyes, Michael Kilgore, Pete Garcia. Devon Stryjek. Leonardo Rosales. Daniel Morris Medina. Donald Davis. In custody, we have Ricardo Flores, Steve Terrazas, Dean Villarreal, Henderson Session, Carlos Madrigal Hernandez, Fernando Trillo. How do you pronounce that?
The doctor I'll be filling the position. He is in custody in federal facility down in Carson City.
All right, just give us a moment, then we'll take that up. Michael Duran. In custody is Bailey Corley, Ellis Whittington.
Yes, good morning, Jan.
Good morning.
That's all I had to,
Oh, no.
respect to you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Derek Reyes.
Judges present, counsel. Good morning.
Thank you. Katrina Ruiz. George Ibarra. Joshua Paniagua. Oh, did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
Yes. Edward Castillo. George Abaye. Manuel Sandoval. Jose Contreras. Efren Lafontaine.
President.
Damian Huff. Damian Xerxes Huff. Dennis Martinez. Isaiah De Los Santos. You need to have a seat. Yes. Are you in this court? Could you ask her? Thank you. She's not dressed appropriately. Thank you. Yolanda Marino. Roxanne Bernal. In custody, we have Charles Harris, Aaron Salazar, Mario Aguilar, Emmanuel Morley, Alvo Tucker, David Martin. That's not the prosecutor. James Kennedy, Edgar Hernandez, Miguel Rangel, Robert Alvarez, Christopher Gonzalez.
Present for handing order. We try to locate in some motion.
All right, thank you. Is there anyone who came in late or your name was not called? Yes, we'll start over here. What's your name?
Bella Rodriguez.
All right, who's your attorney?
Frank Sandoval.
All right. Do you know your case number or SID number?
The number is 875016.
All right. Thank you. We'll get with you. Yes.
William Camarino,
William, last name?
Camarino,
Do you know who your attorney is?
McLean,
All right. Do you know your case number or SID number? All right. Just have a seat. We'll get with you. Yes. Do you know your case number or SID number? All right. Just have a seat. We'll get with you. Yes. Your name? All right. Just have a moment. We'll get with you. And what, I'm sorry, Joshua,
Leah,
do you know your case number or SID number?
SID number is 1169-241.
All right, to all the people who just stood up, is there any one of you who've not been able to contact your attorney? If you have not, raise your hand. No. The people who stood up. That's okay. And said they were, all right. You haven't been able to contact your attorney? No. That's not my question. My question is, of the people who stood up, whose name was not called, have you been able to contact your attorney? If you have not, stand up. All right. So what's your name again?
William Camarino,
All right.
Josh Leah.
All right. So before you leave here today, we're going to make sure that you get a chance to speak with your attorney. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. These are the rules of the court. One, it's hot in here because for some reason people think if they turn off the AC over the weekend, that saves money. It does not. That's my firm belief based upon the laws of physics, because it takes the lot to then cool down all the courtrooms. So it's going to be hot, which means that people are going to be, temper may be up a little bit high because people are wearing suits and ties, but we're not going to let that get to us. We're going to be kind to each other. We're going to be patient, because if you're kind and patient, it will make things run more smoothly. There's going to be a jury that's going to be brought up here today. So somebody's going to jury trial. And that jury is going to be here at 11:15. We're going to take our lunch break exactly at noon. These are the rules. And I'm going to repeat them because I see sometimes when I don't remind people, they forget. But Sean, could you raise your hand? Does everybody see her? What we're going to do is we're going to respect her area. That means attorneys, you're not to use her desk as your own. You're not to go over there moving things around, because that's not your desk. Just think about it. If you were at your office and somebody were to come in, a stranger, that's not their office. They're not paying a lease on it. And they came to your desk and they started moving things around, sitting at your chair, getting in your way. You're trying to handle business. So today we're not going to block her. We're not going to turn our backs to her, because if you turn your back to her and she's sitting down, guess what's in her face? Not having that today. This area here, Travis, can you raise your hand? This door next to Travis, that's where the inmates come out. Deputies are in charge of security. It's hot in here. We're going to make it easy for them. So what that means is attorneys, do not block that area. I know the state's file for family violence are right there. Just grab your file and move away from this area, because inmates are coming out that way. And when you're blocked that way, it messes with security. God forbid the deputies have to shoot somebody. I guess the bullet will go through you. And if they need me to come and testify, I will say, I gave you all instructions not to block that area. So you will not get any money in a civil suit. Now, the other thing on this side is criminal trial division. This is family violence. Just grab your file, have a seat. And if you have a seat, they will call you in the order in which they receive your file. If you ask for an inmate to be brought out, do not leave the courtroom, because if an inmate is brought out, then that means that the deputies have a limited number of inmates they can bring out. And if your inmate is out here and you leave, then you're being selfish, because that means another one of your fellow attorneys cannot call their person out. If your client's native language is not English and they wish to be, if they wish to speak another language, or you speak to them in a language other than English, yes, we need an interpreter called down. Once the interpreter is called down, Do not leave the courtroom because we have a limited amount of interpreters and they can only stay here for 5 minutes or so unless they are in jury trial. The other thing, right over here, Diana, can you raise your hand? This is Diana. Please do not lean on her desk, hover around her. Again, that's her desk. Pretend like it's not your office. If you are talking with your client in the box and we're on the record, you just need to have the deputies move your client down here because she can't hear if people are talking behind her. So today is Tuesday, but it's also a Monday and it's hot, very, very hot. So we're going to be kind to each other. We're going to follow all of the rules and it's going to be a great Tuesday, Monday. So everyone, please confer.
Joshua, yeah?
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Signature on.
Yes. Okay. All right. So is he in the back or? Oh, Galveston. Okay. Uh, Okay. Okay. All right. So, all right, because it's a drug case, I have to add specific conditions. All right, thank you. All right. Who's here on Donald Davis? Hello, that's not you?
Oh, you are. Oh, yes.
Yes. All right, Donald Davis.
Travis.
Okay, just one moment. Let me see what's going on here. Yes.
Your Honor, we're announcing for trial, but Mr. Martinez is in trial in Comal County.
Okay.
So he asked me to announce for him.
All right. So what is he trying in Comal County?
It is a assault family violence. Habitual.
Felony. Oh, okay. All right. I was like, eh. All right. Well, Mr. Davis, your attorney can't be in two places at the same time.
That is true.
All right. So when did he start trial?
They picked yesterday, but they're starting today, this morning.
Do you know if they are having if they're going to the jury for punishment if he were found guilty or if they are going to the court? The reason why I ask, because that'll determine how far out I set this.
I don't know that, Your Honor.
All right. So this is what we'll do. We're going to recall this for just 1 second. We're going to recall this for the 17th. Family violence, your week is the 17th, is that correct?
Of July?
Yes.
That sounds right.
Okay. So I'm going to recall you for jury trial for the 17th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Let me give you a reset form. No, I do not. Thank you. Oh, Travis, you can continue to confer.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Once you sign that, share it to you. You're welcome. And just be sure to turn it into the clerk. Fernando Trio,
Present judge.
he's the one who's in
He's
federal.
custody and Neil Coppins represents the other, the aggravated assault.
Hi, I'm the taller version of Neil Coppins.
Okay,
And so he's federal, our client is in federal custody.
all right, Jason on Trujillo, Fernando Trujillo.
Mhm.
He has a aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, felon in possession of a firearm. He's in federal custody
Garden City.
in Karn City. Do y'all know what the
It's a-
charges?
Apparently it's a multi-count drug.
Drug charges, I
and
believe,
multi-defendant. So
Okay.
it's gonna, I'm assuming that Mr. Darahan will dismiss our cases once that.
Well, then we just charge you.
Oh, that's fine.
Sure.
Send me a nice present.
It would make a difference.
I was encourage him, aiding and abetting him as well.
Something with a tennis court or.
I'll shoot out an email to our clerk to see what's going on right.
And I believe, Judge, that the bond company may have gotten off the bond because I was looking him up to see where he was. And he doesn't show up on the docket, so they may have gotten off bond.
All right, I'm gonna recall you all for August 7th. State, will that give you enough chance to look into everything?
Yes.
All right, and then do you all need a reset form or no? All right, thank you, thank you. Yes, they are. It is so hot in here. And here's the thing, it was hotter than it is now. I'm gonna send them an email. And I just do the subject matter, it's hot.
Yeah, it's gonna be like 75.
Mhm. And Diana, I don't know how to do a kind email, so I always put with, you know what I did? I said, subject line, hot, exclamation point, exclamation point. Then, of course, I started, good morning, it's very hot. So I hope that gives everybody what's going on. Martha Diaz,
Good morning, Young.
good morning. Where is Martha Diaz?
She did not answer this morning, Judge. I've been in contact with her, Judge. I believe this is
Yeah, I mean, the order was vacated.
I don't know why I was appointed, Judge, but it was for, I believe the state and the previous attorney in an agreed application or agreed order.
Yes, something happened before me. So before I was on the bench. So they agreed to vacate the order. But what I'm going to do, because maybe she didn't know it was set. And since it's a possession less than a gram case, I'm going to recall this for tomorrow.
Okay, Judge.
Well, not tomorrow. I'm sorry. Because we'll be in trial. I'm going to give you a little bit more time. So I'm going to recall this for the 22nd.
The 27th, Judge.
Yes, 22nd. So it'll be recalled on Thursday.
Thank you. I'll try to keep on contacting her.
All right, thank you.
Do me a favor, so for stuff like this. Oh, it's gonna-
And counsel, you may want to check with the bondsman, because I'm sure she's on a bond.
I will judge.
Yes, all of those, yes. Oh, not all of those. Yes, thank you. All right, is there Martha Diaz here? Martha Diaz.
Dennis Martinez. Yolanda Moreno.
Dean Villarreal. All right.
Derek Hawkins.
All right, state. This is family violence.
Ian.
Hi, did you all make an offer on this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
They just tendered us an offer. We're still waiting on, I've talked to Brittany about CPS records for another male that was living in the home with the alleged victim.
All right, we've been waiting on CPS records since April 10th.
The last one, Your Honor, the last one was actually the CPS records for the complainant. We asked that the records be searched after we got the records for the.
Yeah, for the boyfriend, and that was for April 25th.
Right.
On April 10th, I have in the notes, CPS records requested, check, they were done. So the first CPS records were actually requested on March 6th. And the same was requested on March 6th. And then it was called for April 10th. So those CPS records were obtained.
Yes, sir.
And then on April 25th, we were to be recalled back. So the CPS records for a boyfriend could be obtained. Then we were here for discovery on May 18th. And then an offer was due today. So I'm giving you a plea deadline date. And if you all don't have the CPS records, then somebody needs to subpoena somebody by the next setting and say why they don't have the CPS records or when they are going to get CPS records. So your plea deadline date is going to be set for July 17th. And if you all don't have records by then, on that date, somebody needs to have someone here subpoenaed as to why nobody has the records. All right, after your client signs that and turns it in, you all are excused. Christopher Gonzalez. Yes. All right, we're going to go on the record and cause number 2022 CR 10364, State of Texas versus Christopher Lee Gonzalez, and also 2019 CR 12466. State of Texas versus Christopher Lee Gonzalez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Ruben Herrera for the state.
Roberto
Defense?
Vargas for the defendant, Your Honor.
All right, and are you Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and defense, I only see a motion in one case.
I was not retained on the NTR, just on the new case.
All right.
Have a seat.
All right, the defense has filed a motion to withdraw. State, have you had a chance to review the motion to withdraw? State, are you ready to proceed?
Yes.
All right, defense.
Yes, Your Honor. Some of what I have to say has to be in general because there's certain client confidentiality between my client. But in general, I do have a legal contract that I have my client sign, which requires them to be paid in full at least 30 days prior to the first trial setting. Our first trial setting was 2 weeks ago, and it was reset. Since then, last Monday, when we got the reset, I had my client come into my office so we can discuss this issue. And based on our conversation, I don't believe I can go forward since there's a payment issue, a large payment issue. I'm respectfully asking the court to let me withdraw from this matter.
All right. And my understanding from reading the motion, you are in objection to your counsel's motion to withdraw? That's what it says in the motion. And the motion, it says that you are not in agreement.
Yes, I mean, if he wants to be released, he wants to be released.
Well, no, I mean, here's the thing. He wants to be released because he's saying you haven't paid him.
Yes, ma'am, but, when we first started, I started out with two, okay,
Time out. I don't want to get into your
yeah, financial.
your contract necessarily,
Yes, ma'am.
but, and I don't want you to say anything that would violate attorney-client privilege, but he's saying you have not paid him.
I think it's just a big misunderstanding.
Well, I tell you what, step back and discuss it. And if there's still a big misunderstanding, the court will make a ruling on your motion.
Thank you, Judge.
Jonathan Boyd.
Present.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'll turn it back on. I was moving. Thank you. Oh, Mr. Boyd.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, today is your jury trial day.
Your Honor, the state is filing a motion for continuance on this case. We haven't filed it at the moment. Your Honor, our the sexual assault nurse, Ed Russell, he had some cardiac issues last week. And they've indicated to our office that he won't be available for the remainder of the month.
We don't have any objection.
Well, once it's filed, I don't have a motion before me, so I can't rule on anything.
Okay.
I have it completed. I just need to print it and get it sworn to you. Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, may I ask, if it is filed, is it your intent to grant it? I need to appear in the 175th.
I have no idea, so I haven't seen the motion.
Okay,
All
I'll
right,
do it.
thanks.
Give me 5
Thank you.
minutes.
Alexander Williams.
Judge, good morning. He's being brought from the back.
All right, thank you. Jose Contreras. All right,
Do you need him up here, Judge?
yes.
Okay.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning.
¿Cómo estás?
Oh, muy bien.
Oh, hey,
I shot you, didn't I?
on top of your Spanish game.
All right, if you could switch over. And counsel, you're on this side.
Sorry.
All right, state, this is family violence, Jose Contreras. And today you all are here for discovery. Do you have all the discovery?
Yes, Judge.
All right, state, on this case, I need an acknowledgement of discovery. Have you been given an offer?
We have today, Judge, this morning.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Jose Contreras, I need a 2-week reset for a plea deadline date. All right, we'll be back on July 11th. At that time, you need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the state's offer. After you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Can we reapproach you?
Just a moment. All right, Christopher Gonzalez. All right, yes.
Judge, in general, when I have a client sign a contract, I'm very detailed and explaining everything to my client and what's required of
Oh,
them.
just 1 second. State. All right, we're back on the record in 2022 CR 10364. And counsel, did you have a chance to speak with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there still confusion?
No, there was never any confusion. When I speak to my client on the contract, I'm very specific about the contract. And then when we did have our conversation on Monday in my office after the reset, there was no confusion. That's not, I don't believe I can go forward representing them because payment.
All right, your attorney no longer wants to represent you. He says you have not paid him.
Okay. Yes.
All right, so just give me a moment. I'm going to review some case law real quickly and I'll let you know what my decision is. So just remain in court.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Who's here on Joshua Leal? Derek Reyes. And Mr. Martinez, you're on this side. All right, where are we on discovery?
Judge, we're trying to determine if discovery is complete. I don't have an accident reconstruction yet. We're trying to determine if that was done, if that's been turned over to me. This was a in-talk manslaughter. There's 2 complainants. And so, number 1, we've got to finish discovery, make sure that's done. And then number 2, I know that they've been able to contact one complainant's family, but not the other. So we don't have an offer yet either.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on this case, give me a date for 45 days. At that time, that's your last discovery date. And state on that date, you need to be prepared to tender an offer.
Yes, Judge.
All right, what date? All right, we'll be back on August 15th. Sign the reset form and then you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Rashawn. Oh, you know what? That's for the pizza. Thank you. Deputy Laura, I'm going old school. I turned on a fan. It is hot. Who's here on John Casanova Paez? The attorney for Paez?
Hi, Judge. I'm here for Sean Brown's office.
Okay,
Do you want our client up as well?
yes. All right, so you'll be for jury trial today, so
Yes.
11:15.
Okay, we filed our election as to punishment or to the jury as well.
Okay, thank
So
you.
come back at 11:15.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Mary.
Isa de los Santos. De los Santos, where are you?
It's Isai.
Isai?
He did not announce it docket.
Oh, he didn't
He
announce?
did not.
All righty. Is he on a commercial bond?
I believe so.
Did you have a chance to see if the bondsman?
I talked to him.
All right. All right, court is calling 2023 CR 3928, State of Texas versus Isai de los Santos. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
John Robertson for Mr. De Los Santos.
All right, the defendant did not answer docket call this morning. Defense, have you had any contact with your client?
No, not with my client. I talked to his family.
Anyone know where he is? All right, I know
believe
you
There
have,
was a way to get a message to him.
all right. State,
Your Honor, we asked for bond forfeiture this morning.
all right. Deputy, did you make an announcement for De Los Santos? If you could make an announcement for Isai de los Santos, please.
Judge, we're going to get an offer from the state this morning. If I'm able to locate my client and he wants to take that offer, can I bring him straight to the courtroom?
Yes. All right, Deputy, was an announcement made?
Yeah, he's not up there.
All right, the court will grant the motion for a bond forfeiture, remain your client without bond. If your client makes an appearance, the court will reconsider.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Alexander Williams. We see you again.
Good morning, Judge. Good to see you guys.
So this is scheduled for jury trial.
Judge, it is. However, I'm also picking a jury this morning on the 437 on a murder case.
Okay.
And so I did let the state know that I would be down there. A lot can happen during jury selection. So, but that's where I'll be, Judge.
All right, well, let's see what happens. We're going to recall this back at 11 a.m.
Yes, Your Honor.
If you're in trial, call and let us know.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
I think it's really through that.
Jonathan Boyd. Oh, I'm sorry, the state, I don't have the state's continuance. Just give us a moment.
Thought Brittany, wow.
It hasn't been given to me yet.
Yes.
Hi, good morning. Great. We'll probably have a trial today, so you'll be able to see a trial.
Daniel. Yeah. Okay.
Daniel Maris Medina.
Daniel, on up. Morning, Judge.
Good morning.
Not the jury.
Yeah, the jury.
All right. Is he not dressed appropriately because he fears the bow tie?
I believe last time you commented on his t-shirt as well. It was a Michael Myers t-shirt.
So you're a man who has a closet filled with t-shirts and no shirt?
My daughters buy them for me, so I use them when I get out of the house, and since I've been in the house over the third time I get out, it's only here.
All right. Do you have a shirt? Because if this goes to trial, I don't think you want to appear in a t-shirt.
Button down dress shirt.
A button down
Dress
shirt, no, ma'am.
You may want to invest in that.
I'll let them know.
Steve Harvey says that every man, if you have 5 suits in your closet, you can make 75 different suits. All right. So today is your plea deadline date.
Your Honor, we've received a plea offer. The plea is not accepted.
Okay.
We also received a Padilla letter from Teresa Coles Davila. I reviewed it with my clients. He understood it. We do need a jury to resolve his cases. And I did need to put something on the record outside your presence.
Okay. And the other question I have for you, Mr. Medina Maris, do you need an interpreter or no?
No, ma'am. Simple words is fine. I understand.
All right. I just asked because I don't want us to start a jury trial and then you need an interpreter.
All my teachers were Americans, so I pay attention.
Okay. I'm not going to ask you about your grades. All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a date for a jury trial? State, how long are you expecting this to last?
Probably a day, day and a half.
That sounds accurate.
All right, so it's criminal trial division.
And it would be going to the judge for punishment, so it could be even sooner.
All right, and so would you all be proceeding on the burglary of the habitation or retaliation?
Retaliation, Judge.
All right. All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a jury trial date. Okay. Okay. It is the heat.
I just think give them all this. We'll get the names.
All right. Let me see something here. All right, we're gonna set you, Norma, put this on July 24th. So we'll put you down for July 24th. And that's your jury trial date.
Yes, Judge.
And Norma, maybe you want to shut down and restart. All right, and I'll step out and let you put on the record what you need to put on the record.
Thank you, Judge. Let's wait 1 minute.
And Judge, I'll just come back and get you one done.
All right, thank you. Yes.
Even this morning. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, since they're gonna, if he's found guilty, since they want me to do punishment, I'm not to know what their agreement is, because people think that may influence, my decision if I know what the punishment is. So that's why. But if I were not deciding punishment, if he had decided that he would go to the jury for punishment, the state can put it on the record. I can be in the room when they put it on the record.
Oh,
Yes. You're welcome. And if you have any questions, just let me know. You're welcome. Manuel Sandoval. Okay, then they can come back the following week, but we'll see. No, just keep it on that date. And we'll see when they come back. Yeah, just give them that date. Manuel Sandoval.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm here for him.
All right, where is he?
He is ill. He called me this morning and said that he was sick and was feeling like he had COVID, had some gastrointestinal issues as well. And so I told him, we don't want you in the courthouse with that. So, but you will need documentation. And so I informed him this morning that he called me and that he said he was ill. And she advised me that I needed to inform the court. So that's why we're here.
All right, we're going to recall it for, Norma, recall this for the 22nd. And your client needs to have documentation.
Second, that is what day, Judge?
Thursday.
Judge, I've got a vacation letter. I'm going to Virginia for my niece's wedding. I won't be.
Okay. All right, when do you leave?
I leave Thursday. I come back late Monday. So we could do maybe next Wednesday.
All right, we'll recall it for the 21st.
21st tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay. If he is not well, what do you want me to do?
He needs to have some sort of documentation. That he's ill.
Okay. I'll let him know and just have maybe family get it to me or something like that.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Norma Sandoval is being recalled for the 21st.
Your Honor, may we approach on Boyd? I believe the state filed their motion for continuance.
All right. State, do you have your motion for continuance?
Yes, I filed it, Your Honor.
All right, Jonathan Boyd. All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 5164, State of Texas versus Jonathan Daniel Boyd. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Brittany Mitchell for the state.
Jason Goss for Mr. Boyd.
And are you Mr. Boyd?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, off the record for a moment.
What do we feel to do?
There's nothing. And defense, if you want to initial that.
Sure. I received it.
Oh, you're welcome. All right, we're back on the record. The state has filed a motion for continuance. Defense, did you have a chance to review that motion?
We have, Your Honor, we have no objection.
All right. Ms. Ferguson, on Mr. Boyd, I'm going to grant the motion for continuance. And can you put this, the first availability in July, please? For jury trial.
Your Honor, I am at Advanced Criminal Law in Houston for that last week of July.
All right, it needs to be earlier. All right, July 11th will be your jury trial date. You can sign the reset form and then your excuse.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and is he in custody or no?
He's in the box.
All right, where is Joshua Leal's attorney? Norma, can you call the attorney for Joshua Leal? All right, Christopher Gonzalez. It's hot. Thanks for catching that. We're back on the record in 2021 CR 10364. All right, the court has heard the arguments from both sides. Counsel. This was. Just one moment. This is actually scheduled for jury trial on July 25th. Am I incorrect in that?
Oh, yeah, that's correct.
Ms. Ferguson? On Christopher Gonzalez, I have it scheduled for jury trial on July 25th.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, Mr. Gonzalez,
Sean,
are you able to retain an attorney or no?
try to get one. Yes, ma'am.
Do you need one appointed?
Moment.
Well, this is what you need to realize. If I grant your attorney's motion to withdraw, then that attorney needs to be ready for trial on July 25th. You understand? So, a question again, are you going to be able to afford an attorney or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Because it appears that the issue with this attorney is payment. We're not going to come back here on July 25th where you can't have an attorney and you come to court and you say you can't afford an attorney. Do you understand?
I hear you.
All right, I'm going to grant the motion to withdraw. Ms. Ferguson, on Mr. Gonzalez, have him interviewed for a court-appointed attorney, and the attorney in cause number 2019 CR 12466, the assault second, is that a court-appointed attorney or is that a retained attorney?
On the NTR, yeah.
Oh, no, she was paid.
Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson. On this case, I'm going to want it recalled back on July 6th, and you're coming back on July 6th and you need to have an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, give him a reset form for July 6th.
Maybe excuse them.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. As soon as you get your reset form, you're excused. And Norma, his attorney on the motion to revoke needs to be here. Yes. So he's not, make sure the other attorney comes in before you give him that. He has a different attorney on the motion to revoke. Yes. Yes, whoever that his attorney is, she needs to come in here. Because her case is set today, is it not? Or no? When is, no, the motion, when is the motion to revoke set? Okay. All right, then I don't know why I keep getting this file. All right, then he can be excused once he signs the reset form. Richard Thomas.
Your Honor, I think that's my fault. I don't think the attorney's here yet.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Here you go.
Welcome. That's. They're not ready.
Yeah.
George Abaye. All right, so today is your plea deadline date. Are you accepting or rejecting the offer?
Your Honor, if we may, we asked respectfully to extend the plea deadline. We're still, apparently there are videos that we're not able to upload. So there are some, but there are more videos that we needed to request to be placed on a DVD from the state's office.
All right, so when is that going to be done?
Your Honor, they're uploaded to Veripic. I think it's just a matter of them.
Why you have your arms crossed? Yes.
I believe it's just a matter of them being made available to council. They are available on our end. I think it's just a matter of the size of the videos.
So when are you gonna give them what they need to upload it on the disk?
Judge, I can do that today.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. On this case, set the plea deadline date in 3 weeks, please. All right, we'll come back on July 11th. You can sign the reset form, then you're excused.
Thank you,
All
Judge.
right, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. All right. All right, thank you. Aaron LaFontaine. All right, so where are we?
Yeah, just our first appearance. There are CPS records that the state is going to be tendering over a protective order to you so that they can make a copy of those.
All right, I received it and I signed it. So any other discovery besides the protective order?
Not that I'm aware of, Judge.
Not that the state's aware.
All right, were you able to tender an offer?
I have not been able to tender an offer, Judge. I did let counsel know that once we have the CPS records send it over, we'll be able to tender an offer.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. Give me a 30-day reset on this case, a regular reset. All right, so we're going to come back on July 25th.
Yes,
What's
Judge.
going to be due at that time will be acknowledgement of discovery and states you need to tender an offer.
Yes, sir.
All right, is there anything else?
Nothing for this defendant, Judge.
Nothing from the
All
state.
right, thank you.
Should be excused.
After she signs the reset form. George Ibarra.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. All right, this is criminal trial division, possession less than a gram. What's happening with this case?
We believe it's a second setting. We have conferred with the state. Mr. Ibarra is presently charged as a repeater.
All right, do you have all of the
know whether
discovery?
a second setting in your court is necessarily a plea deadline day. I hope it's not.
Do you have all of the discovery?
I do.
Judge, just to let you know, I did let you, defense counsel know that the plea offer that I made was today only,
All right,
just so you know.
all right, so are you accepting the state's offer or not? Mr. Ibarra, are you aware of the state's offer?
He is aware, and my question, Judge, was, he wanted an opportunity to discuss it with his family.
How old are you?
47.
Daughter just graduated from high school.
Well, if you want to call them on the phone, you can.
Would I have some time to,
Here's the thing, the state has informed you that they've made an offer. I've done research on this. They're telling you that that offer is for today only. Is that correct, state?
Yes, yes,
All right, that offer is for today only. This case was set on May 22nd, so this is the second setting. It's a possession less than a gram case. According to the case law, an offer, the state may withdraw their offer at any time before the court accepts it. So they're telling you it's today only. If you want to walk away from the state's offer, then you can walk away from their offer, but who knows what they may be offering next time. Do you understand? So you're in your 40s, you're an adult. It's not like you're an 18-year-old. So if you want to talk to your family on the phone, you're more than welcome to step outside and talk to them on the phone. So what do you wish to do? You want to talk to your attorney about it? I'll let you talk to your attorney about it, but the state has informed you that that offer is for today only. All right, Edgar Hernandez. All right, this is the case where the state was going to speak to the officer.
Judge, on that, we haven't had a chance to speak with them. We did get the incident detail report. It's just when we were in trial, that was just, we didn't really have time to talk with them.
Okay. So.
A very short reset, Judge, because they're either going to tell me what I need to hear, or if they tell me what I'm expecting to hear, this could be a pretty quick resolution on my part.
All right, if we recall it for the 22nd.
That should be fine, Judge.
All right, Norma. Edgar Hernandez is coming back on June 22nd.
I'll send out the request right now.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I put him on the phone?
James Kennedy. Hi, counsel. Your client needs to be in the middle. What is happening with this case?
Your Honor, I talked to the state today, I talked to Ruben. We have some discovery problems. They're still coming in. He just got some CPS records. So I'm going to have to take a big USB over to the DA's office and get all this stuff.
All right, so
They're not ready to make an offer.
does the state have the CPS records?
They just got them in their file as far as I can tell.
All right, state family violence on James Kennedy.
Yes, Your Honor.
My understanding, you all have the CPS records?
Yes.
We do have the CPS records, and I will send her a protective order so we can make those available to counsel.
All right, thank you. Is there any other outstanding discovery other than the CPS records?
Not to the state.
No. Not
All
that I'm
right.
aware of. There's several discs in their file. I'll bring over USB tomorrow.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 45-day reset on candidate, please? All right, we're going to come back on August 10th. At that time, what's going to be due is an acknowledgement of discovery and states you need to be prepared to tender an offer.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. I may be excused.
Yes. Emmanuel Morley. Yeah.
Traffic jam there. Morning, Judge.
Good morning. Oh, you're on this side, counsel.
Okay.
So where are we on this case?
Judge's first setting today, I believe I have downloaded all the discovery that the state has in the electronic discovery. I've conferred with the state. But I need a little more time. There's like 20 videos I need to go through. The state was going to give me an offer good today only. So they asked me, do they want the offer or do I want to finish looking at the discovery? And I told them I'd like to look at the rest of the discovery before I get that day only offer. So I'm asking.
All right, Ms. Ferguson on Morley. If I can have a 30-day reset. July when? All right, July 25th. We'll be back.
Okay.
And on that date, the state's going to tender an offer and I'll need an acknowledgement of discovery sign
Today or on that day?
on that date.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
May I be excused?
Yes.
Okay, as soon as I get a chance to do all that stuff, I'll set up a visit with you. I don't know, I make them over because they only give us 20 minutes on that thing and there's a lot to go. Okay.
Just go have a seat for your rest.
Yeah, go here and
Edgar Hernandez.
Oh, was that mine that we already did?
Oh,
Or is there another one?
oh, no, that's yours.
Okay.
We're done with that one.
And he can go back.
Raul Reyes,
Edgar Hernandez, James Kennedy, Amanda Morley.
Raul Reyes. Oh, okay, thank you.
Your Honor, the state has made an offer. We are very far apart in terms of negotiating, so my client will just request a jury trial.
All right. All right, that's today. We'll see you back here at 11:15. Good morning. Michael Durong. Michael Durong.
Sheffield's case, I think he may have just stepped outside.
Oh, thank you. Michael Durong. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning. All right, today is your jury trial date.
Yes, Sharon, I apologize. We just got new discovery in, it's my understanding today. from
What new
CPS.
discovery?
Yeah, there was CPS records requested back on May 19th. Yeah, with the due date of yesterday's date, we just got those in. And they have not yet been made available to counsel through the protective order that was found today.
All right, Norma, on Michael Duran, recall this at the earliest date for jury trial in July.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
July 11th. All right, that's going to be your jury trial date.
Thank you, Judge.
And defense,
Yes, Your Honor.
do you have any objections? I'm assuming this is a state's continuance.
No, no objections.
Okay. Let's put it on the record. Court is calling 2023 CR 1952, State of Texas versus Michael Duran. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Ruben Herrera for the state of Texas.
Defense.
Sean Sheffield for defendant, Your Honor, who's present.
All right, and are you Mr. Duran?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Duran, you were scheduled for jury trial today. The state has informed the court that there are CPS records that they just received and they just tendered to your counsel. State, are you asking for a continuance?
Yes, we are, Your Honor.
Defense, do you have any objection to that? All right, then I'll grant the continuance and we will be back on July 11th
Thank you, Judge.
for jury trial.
Judge, would you like a motion file as well?
Yes. And once you have signed the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
George Ibarra. They're still outside. Leonardo Rosales.
So Your Honor, here on that one. Brittany, the prosecutor, wanted to come and speak to you as well. I think she might have stepped out, but there's a new evidence video, Your Honor, that was.
Oh,
made
did you all
available.
call an interpreter down?
No.
So you need an interpreter.
Okay, I think the state is asking for a continuance.
All right, you need an interpreter.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Is it okay if I translate or do you?
No, we need an interpreter. Thank you. Dennis Martinez.
Present for Mr. Martinez, Your Honor.
All right.
What? Mr. Martinez, the approach, sure.
Yes. All right, state, where are we on this case?
Judge, defense stated that they wanted to give a mitigation to us. That's what we're waiting on right now.
Do you have all the discovery?
Judge, we do not at this time. We're still trying to get the standard breath test discovery order before the court. I
Right,
didn't,
why isn't that order before the court now?
Judge, I didn't realize that you required a separate motion on that. Some judges have been signing.
I don't have any document before me at all.
I understand, Your Honor, and I will have that to you immediately.
All right, what does immediately mean?
This week, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, anything else?
That's a judge.
All right, and how long is it taking for blood discovery to come back?
So I think this one's a little weird because it's breath. I think it's a little quicker, 30 to 45 days would be my guess, but
Okay.
I haven't had to do that for a while.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a 45-day reset on Dennis Martinez. All right, we're coming back on August 8th. Just sign the reset form and then you're excused.
Thank you very much.
You're
Judge. We
welcome.
Appreciate the court's time.
And sir, just whenever you get, sorry, not sorry, your turn. Whenever you get Bex, just.
I'll have it, I'll give it filed this week and then.
Yeah. I saw that.
Miguel Rangel.
Judge, he's in custody. We're asking for him to come out, but we can approach it.
All right, your client needs to be out here.
Yeah, we'll wait.
All right, thank you. Ellis Whittington.
President Judge, we're ready on that.
All right, your client is in the center. All right. No, I think, I appreciate you for saying that. And I understand when people wear all that they have to wear.
Yes,
I don't understand attorneys coming in t-shirts, but I understand why you would.
Yes.
And I know sometimes attorneys think a polo shirt is acceptable. So where are we on this case with regards to discovery?
We have exchanged discovery, Judge. I believe that we have all of it now. We were going to provide some exculpatory information to the DA's office next. I think this case will be resolved before the next setting if we can get 30 days.
All right, and state, did you tender an offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson on Whittington. I need a reset date in 3 weeks for a plea deadline date.
I can do that one on July 17th.
All right, we'll come back on July 17th. On that day, you either accepting the state's offer or not. Okay? All right, once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're dressed appropriately. Your t-shirt is clean.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, who is here on Arturo Contreras? the attorney for Arturo Contreras.
Present.
And is this a plea on one case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
This is not correct. So you all need to do another trial court certification. And please don't fill it out because that's for me to fill out.
Sure, Judge.
All right, so yes, if you can get that. Oh, no, just have them stand there and you all can sign it. It is 2023 CR 5260. All right, the court is calling 2023 CR 5260, State of Texas versus Arturo Angel Contreras Santos. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Denise Harrison for the state of Texas, Your Honor.
Cesar Montalvo for the defense.
All right, and are you Arturo Angel Contreras Santos?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery in this case? And
Yes.
did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor, and I believe it is.
All right. Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. And there are no applications, is that correct?
There should be an application, Your Honor. The
Yes.
state's opposed.
I don't have an application.
I have it here. Sorry, Judge.
All right.
I can't remember. What's it?
2023 CR 5260. No. All right, excuse me, counsel. This is an election for punishment. You need to have the document that is an application for deferred.
Sure, Judge.
Also, if you'll get it from there, it will either say application for, just one moment, let me step down. And counsel, the cause number is 2023 CR 5260.
Your Honor, I think we're gonna have to put on a record, because I've been speaking to his hired attorney, Mr. Montalvo, since the original indictment.
All right, so we're not ready to put that on the record just yet. Let me make sure he has his paperwork. All right, you ready? All right, the court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Contreras Santos, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes,
Your Honor,
Yes.
I'm sorry for interrupting you, but real quick, what I was trying to state earlier is that I guess he has two different attorneys, one that's on one of the cases and Valerie on the other cases, and I guess the case that he's pleading to, it's actually Valerie's case, not Mr. Montalavo's case. So I guess we have to get on the record to ask the defendant is from the defendant, is it okay?
Now, what we need to do, not on the record, is y'all need to go back and confer off the record and come before the court when you all are ready.
Harris?
They're not ready. Katrina Ruiz.
Not like the second.
Where's your client?
She's working.
All right. What's happening on this case?
For this case, Judge, I believe I received a completed discovery in this case, but the defense would like to conduct an independent investigation.
All right, an offer was due today.
Yes, and an offer has been extended.
Okay.
We're requesting a plea deadline for Ms. Ruiz.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Katrina Ruiz, I need a plea deadline date in 30 days.
July 24th.
All right, July 24th is your plea deadline date.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, after you sign that, you're excused.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Pete Garcia.
Ready, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Would you like him up here, sir?
Yes.
Pete.
All right. I guess you just swallowed gum.
Yep.
Okay, that's a yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, why were you late today?
Oh, I got here around 9:30, just to be honest.
No, I'm asking why, because docket starts at 9.
Oh, traffic. It was really, I have a dually, so there was.
You had what?
I drive a dually.
Okay.
It was very, very hard. I went to like all the parking lots around here to fit. All of them were packed. I actually parked like 3 blocks down. So I finally found a spot.
Well, you have to put that in your schedule because it's not a traffic issue.
Yes,
Because there's no school. I can come from across town to downtown within 15 minutes because there's no traffic. All right, so today is your plea deadline date. Are you accepting the plea or rejecting it?
Certainly going to reject it.
All right, how long is this jury trial going to last?
I would expect 2 to 3 days, Your Honor.
All right,
And Your Honor, there's also a forensic interview. And so I'm going to ask you for an expert. He's appointed.
just 1 second. I'm looking at this and it says that on May 1st, there was an offer tendered and your plea deadline date was May 16th. And then May 16th, your plea deadline date expired. So actually today we're here for a jury trial.
Okay.
So today is your jury trial. So we'll see you back here at 11:15.
Tomorrow morning?
No, today.
Oh, today. Okay.
All right. All right. Thank you. Edward Castillo, bring us. Who's the attorney for Edgar Castillo's Bringus.
It's Leo. He has another client.
All right, so we'll wait for him to come back.
So you want me to go get him?
Oh, here he is. All right, today is your plea deadline date.
Your Honor, we're still working on some mitigation evidence with some counseling that my client is working on. So we'd like to have an extension on that so we can provide that to the state.
All right, Norma. Can we recall this back for July 5th or 6th?
And Your Honor, just one other thing, my client, we filed a motion to allow the travel. He's got schooling. He's in
Well,
the
let's
military.
address this July 5th, July 6th date
Well,
first.
that goes towards that as well, because it may affect that date because of his schooling. That's why I wanted to touch base on those.
All right, what's with his schooling?
We filed a motion and get the exact dates that Judge real quick.
I don't have the motion.
If you give me a moment, Judge, I'll pull it up for you. We can step back and I'll get that for you and then we can approach on that.
Okay, all right, thank you. Miguel Rangel? Are the parties ready on Miguel Rangel? Oh, his attorney, I don't see him. I'm sorry, Mr. Rangel? Just have a seat. Your attorney's not here. Ah. Right, what are happening with these cases?
Judge, there's two ag assaults on the same day that are unindicted. I have reached out to the intake attorney and actually discussed this case with the intake attorney as long with the defense counsel. We just needed probably another 30 days just to evaluate that to see if it's going to be indicted.
All right, and you say there are two aggravated assaults?
Yes, Your Honor.
All
Same-
right.
Same incident.
Ms. Ferguson? If I can have a 30-day reset on Mr. Rangel? All right, July 24th, and an offer will be due on that at that time. Is that enough time for everyone?
That's plenty.
All right, we'll see you back on July 24th.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Just a moment. No problem. Yes, Mr. Davidson?
Yes, sir. I have Charles Harrison on the docket this morning.
Okay, all right. I'll call them in order in which I received the
Understand,
file. All right, thank you.
I
As
guess
soon
I
as
should
I,
check with them too.
yes. Daniel Flores. All right, Mr. Flores, we'll see you back here at 11 for jury trial.
Judge,
Yes.
Your Honor, we have reached an agreement. However, it's a little complicated and it might take me some time to do the paperwork on it. So we were wondering if we could get another date to come do the plea.
Oh, we can do the plea today. I'm here. Because he's set for jury trial. So y'all work on the paperwork and I'll hear it.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Charles Harris. All right, thank you. All right, where are we on this case? So has discovery been tendered?
Your discovery has been tendered and so far, I believe the ADA may want to talk to the officer to be able to offer perhaps a better deal on this, if any. My client's been there 5 months, obviously want to walk out today, but we're not really prepared for that right now.
All right, State, how long is it going to take for you to get in touch with the complainant?
Judge, a pretty short reset should do it. Would 30 days be reasonable?
I mean, if you need 30 days to speak with someone, then that's fine. But I know you all are not going to be in trial this week. So will you be able to get in touch with them either the first week in July or the second week in July?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so which first or second week?
Oh, can we do the second week, Judge?
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a reset date on Harris for the second week in July, the week of July 10th? All right,
Just one other matter.
yes.
I haven't followed any paperwork on this or anything, and I've talked to the ADA already, and he said he's opposed to this, but my client wants a PR bond because he says he's been in there 5 months and he wants out.
Well, he'll need to have it referred to Judge Nahara.
Okay.
So if you file the motion and we'll make sure it's placed on the docket immediately.
I understand. Thank you.
Ms. Ferguson, can you make sure he has a reset form in case he's released so he'll know when to be back? All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I'm trying to get you in as quickly as possible.
Yes, ma'am. I just had a mother that's kind of ill right now, and my daughter just graduated high school, so it's just me and my daughter, my sister, my niece. My stepfather passed away, so with all that, it's just I'm the only one that was at home. I was out there advocating for the homeless as well, man.
Don't get in the case.
Okay. All right, they'll give you your reset form.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, have a sit back over there and all.
All right, Edward Bringus. All right, Ms. Ferguson on Bringus. This is going to come back on Thursday, and you need to let the court know on Thursday whether or not you're accepting the state's offer. Do you understand? So Norma, call Mr. Bringus back on June 22nd. And that will be your final plea deadline date. And could I see the state on this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. He has the travel for military training. Is there going to be any objection?
What are the dates?
The date is July 11th through July 13th, and then July 16th through August 11th.
Okay, no objection, Your Honor.
I mean, when the military wants you, they want you.
Yes.
All right. Is there anything else?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. Once you get the reset form, you're excused.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
And counsel, just make sure that pretrial services knows or And Norman, can you make sure that Mr. Capmeyer is here? Aaron Salazar.
We're ready, Jeff.
Oh, do we have the interpreter here? All right, if y'all can step back a moment, let me take up the matter with the interpreter. And then I'll take you up next. All right, Leonardo Rosales.
Morning, Judge, how are you?
Good morning. It's always great to see you.
Good to see you. Let me just give him the device, Your Honor.
Sure.
Just go in here. Ready, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. So I've been told that back in November, there wasn't a need for an immigration attorney. So have immigration issues been addressed with him?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And so is he ready for trial?
We have a second forensic interview, Your Honor, that has just been made available. And I'm scheduling a time so I can review it with the state.
What's been made available?
A second forensic interview, Your Honor.
Yes.
Why is that just now being made available?
I thought we had discussed it at the previous setting, the victim outcried to additional acts and was interviewed again. And we received the forensic interview from the detective recently. And
All right.
we've made it available to defense.
Yes, ma'am, and I've scheduled to watch it this afternoon with Marina.
All right, it appears that if the defense is requesting it, it probably will not be coming into evidence because this was set for a jury trial on January 31st. And that was set by Judge Angelini. And then we came back on February 3rd and it was set again for jury trial on March 28th.
Correct.
Then on March 28th, it was recalled for March 29th. And your jury trial date and plea deadline date was for May 23rd. And then on May 23rd, I was told that there was a new disc.
Yes, Your Honor, and if I may, there were 2 cases or 3 cases, and 2 of those cases have been dismissed. The case that was set for trial. So on the last setting, we got 2 of those cases dismissed.
So I will see you all back this afternoon at 11 for jury trial.
Yes, Your Honor, will do.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, and then the parties who were up here before? Yes. All right, thank you. Could I see the file on Yolanda Marino, please? Yes. All right, Aaron Salazar. All right.
Speak up.
Everyone needs to whisper. We're on the docket. Court is calling 2020, well, on the record. Court is calling 2023 CR 3992, State of Texas versus Aaron David Salazar. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Kelly Piddle.
And are you Aaron David Salazar?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
Yes, sir.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Is there an application in this case?
Nope.
All right. Mr. Salazar, I'm going to show you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Salazar, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments. Did you review that with your attorney?
Yes.
Did you understand it?
Yes.
Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, I do.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of theft under $2,500 enhanced? That's a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine.
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, I did.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes.
Mr. Salazar, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 159 days in the Bexar County Jail under 1244. There's a $500 fine. The state will take in consideration 701690, 2023 CR 3993. There's to be restitution in 2023 CR 3992 and 2023 CR 3993. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense?
Yes.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No.
Outside the agreement, they're asking that you have no contact with Walmart. Did you understand those recommendations from the state? And the court does not have to follow those recommendations.
Yes.
Then to the office as charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence?
Your Honor, I submit States Exhibit 1 and attachments.
Objection.
All right, state, you may be excused. Showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor, we're just asking for the floor.
All right, Mr. Salazar, why do you not stop stealing?
I was in my phase of life where I was doing drugs. And these 5 months actually found myself and you won't see me here again.
But no, you keep stealing. The reason why this is a state jail felony is because you've stolen 2 times before.
Yes.
So why do you keep stealing? Obviously, 2 things are going on. 1, you're not good at it because you keep getting caught, right?
Yes, ma'am.
2, you have some issues that are going on in your life that is causing you to steal. If it's drugs, there are free places all over San Antonio for you to get help with your drug addictions. If it's something else, if it's, oh, I can't afford this, again, there are free places all over San Antonio to help you with that. If you don't have clothing, there's a free place for you to get clothing. If you don't have food, there's a free place for you to get food. So free clothing, free food, free help with your drug issue. So that eliminates your need to steal. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any children?
I have 8 children.
What are their ages?
They range from 7 to 24.
And you're not supporting them, are you?
No.
Do you plan on being a good father to them or not? Father's Day just passed.
Yes, I do.
And how are you going to do that? What's your plan when you get out of jail?
Get in contact with them first of all.
Well,
We'll get in contact. That's seriously get in contact.
you shouldn't be getting in contact with them first. The first thing you need to do when you get out of Bexar County Jail, because you have a drug issue, is go to a drug treatment facility and tell them you need help. You can't be addicted to drugs, living on the street or whatever you've been doing, and then all of a sudden just out of the blue pop up on your children's doorstep.
So I understand.
All right. You've got to now prove yourself to be worthy to be in their life. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Court will sentence you to 159 days in the Bexar County Jail. There's a $500 fine. Time and money will run concurrent. There's to take into consideration 701690, 2023 CR 3993. There's to be restitution in 2023 CR 3992 and 2023 CR 3993. Counsel, did you want to address the no contact with Walmart?
I think he understands that you cannot have any contact with Walmart since the age.
All right. And they do have the super, I think they have the super HEB because some HEBs you go to, they sell clothing. And I think the one on Bandera actually sells engagement rings. At least they did when I was in law school. So there's to be no contact with Walmart. What is Walmart's answer to Costco?
Sam's Club.
They didn't say
The
Sam's
poor man's
Club.
Costco.
So no contact with Walmart. Is there a dismissal to be tendered to me in 701690?
I don't know if you want me to take that to file or do you want to have the judge sign?
Judge, we emailed the prosecutors in Nye County Court to do that.
I'll go with
All
that
right,
next.
thank you. All right, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, off the record, what's up with the white rabbit tattoo?
Oh, I'm an ex gang member.
Okay. Here's the thing. Some people say they're ex and they're really not. Do not be bringing that drama and trauma to your children's doorstep. You understand? If you want to write them a letter, maybe that may be appropriate. If you want to send them some child support money through the mail, that may be appropriate. But until you get your life in order, don't be bringing drama and trauma to their doorstep, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. All right, who's here on Yolanda Marino?
I am, Your Honor.
Where is Yolanda Marino?
She is in custody in TDC in Dickinson, Texas.
Oh, here you are.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. And how's everything else?
Okay, Judge. Thank you.
Okay, that's good. Tell them I said hi.
All right, thanks, Judge.
All right, who's here on Henderson session? Henderson session. All right, Mr. Session, just, All right, so has the state tendered an offer? And counsel, you're on this side.
No, they haven't, Your Honor. We were here on the CPS records. We're getting a copy.
All right, it's supposed to be CPS records plus an offer is due.
Yes, Your Honor. We're getting those CPS records printed out, and the state has tendered an offer to defendants. Or not printed out, but burned onto a disc.
Okay.
I was at this point unable to find a copy of the order that you signed.
Oh, I'll sign another one.
And we were just gonna print off another one and have you sign it. real
Okay,
quick.
awesome.
And we're in the process of printing that off.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. I need a 30-day reset for a plea deadline date on Henderson session.
We can come back on July 24th.
All right, July 24th would be your plea deadline date.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Have you signed the reset form? You're excused. Are the parties here on Daniel Renee Flores?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm doing the plea paperwork.
Oh, thank you. All right, that one's done. So they're working on a plea. Roxanne Bernal.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning. All right, shorts are not appropriate for court. You understand? Yes, ma'am. All right, probation, there's an application in this case. Court is calling 2023 CR 3937, State of Texas versus Roxana Bernal. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Orlando Ways for the defense, Judge.
Are you Roxanne Bernal?
Yeah.
Defense, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor, and I did, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Bernal, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of possession less than 1 gram? That's a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, The fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
She has, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
She does, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Brunel, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial, showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, there's a $500 fine. State recommends community supervision. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, have any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 2 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 150 hours community service restitution, and the DOEP course. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Fine.
State any evidence?
Your Honor, I submit States Exhibit 1 in the attachments.
And no objections, Your Honor, for
Right.
purposes of the plea.
Thank you. Your excuse, showing you what's entitled wavering consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state were calling the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence States Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing States Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor, we are.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Just that the court follow the recommendation, Your Honor, and grant your deferred adjudication.
All right. Do you have any children? What are their ages?
I just have a newborn. He's 4 months. And then I have a 5, a 7, a 9, 11, and 13.
So newborn, 5, 7, 9, 11, and 13.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you employed?
Not at this moment. I'm looking forward.
Just 1 moment off the record. Let them know, because I realize how hot it is out there because it's hot in here. All right. Yes, thank you. All right, we're back on the record. Are you employed?
Not
Are your children living with you?
with my mom.
Child Protection Services involved?
With my newborn. Not my mom has the other.
So does your mother have custody of the 5, 7, 9, 11, and 13-year-old? Were your rights terminated?
No, they weren't terminated. I just have partial custody.
Was Child Protective Service involved in the 5, 7, 9, 11, and 13-year-old? when you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be? And you need to be honest with me because I'm trying to figure out if you can be helped or not on probation.
Negative.
All right, when's the last time you used drugs?
February 6th.
All right, we're going to do a drug test today. So, and this is just a side note, why do you continue to have children knowing that you don't have custody of any of your children and that you have an issue?
I'm not sure.
Right. You're going to have to find out because this is where we're at. In your life, you have all these children. You don't have custody of any of them. You're not employed. And you say you're living with your mom?
No, I'm not living.
Who are you living with?
I just live at a hotel. It's a hotel.
How are you paying for that?
I do site like when I go to labor ready and stuff like that, but nothing something like every day, no.
All right, hotel to hotel is not going to be stable for your children.
I understand.
And Child Protective Services is not going to give you your children back if you're living from hotel to hotel.
I understand.
But if your decision is you have no plans to do what you need to do, then don't disrupt your children's lives. Don't keep coming back in their life, disappointing them.
I understand.
And now you know for sure how children are made and where they come from. So you're not ready to have children, you understand? And did you receive a CPS plan from CPS?
Yeah.
Who is your CPS attorney?
I don't know.
I'm just asking, these are things that you should know because that case should, other than this case, that case should be one of the most important cases in your life because it's involving your newborn.
I have it, but it's on my phone.
Okay. All right. Anything you want to add, counsel?
No.
So this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to 3 years deferred adjudication. If she completes what she needs to complete for CPS, of course, she can always come back and ask for early termination. But that's going to be 3 years deferred adjudication, a $500 fine that will be probated, CPS compliance, and probation. If you can look and see whether or not CPS has her in their treatment program. If they do not, we're going to do a referral to felony drug court because there was more than morphine in that vehicle. Referral to felony drug court. If felony drug court does not accept her, we're going to do a TAP evaluation, follow TAP recommendations. If TAP recommends inpatient treatment, we'll start with intensive outpatient treatment. Is there a reason why you're not able to get employment?
Just because I'm doing the classes and stuff that they asked me to, so I'm just following up with that.
All right. How far did you go in school?
I graduated.
Okay. All right. Proof of employment. Within 30 days, there's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. What do you want to do with the rest of your life, career-wise?
Well, I was going to school in the county, but when I had my twins, one passed.
I'm sorry to hear that. So what are your plans now?
I want to go back to school.
Okay. All right. 200 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to want parenting classes. And if CPS, which they should be giving her parenting classes, that can count. And if she completes the parenting classes, I'll waive 40 hours of her community service restitution. And she's going to do trade school or either some higher level of education. If she completes that, the remaining hours will be waived. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's to be regular UAs. We'll do a UA today to see what's going on. 90 sober meetings in 90 days. Field visits. one time per month until further notice. No unsupervised contact with minors. If if CPS ends up allowing you to have unsupervised contact, then you can come back here and the court will consider changing that. But for now, there's not to be any unsupervised contact because I know CPS tells you where to have your visits and when. Probation, is there anything else you need? Is there anything else you need from the court? I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? Yes. All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Ms. Bernal, do not be that parent who only does well when CPS is in your life or the court is in your life. If you have no intention and you know yourself better than I do, your attorney, or even better than your caseworkers of probation, if you have no intention of doing what needs to be done to have your children in your life on a permanent basis and be a permanent positive influence on them, you need to just let them go. You understand? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Ms. Bernal, is there anything else you need from the court? All right, good luck to you. Yes. Thank you. All right, are you all ready on Contreras Santos? Are you all going forward with the plea?
Yes, Your Honor. And I filed a notice of retained counsel on that matter. That was already.
Okay. All right, we are on the record. And 2023 CR 5260, State of Texas versus Arturo Contreras. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Travis Rodriguez for the state of Texas.
Defense?
Cesar Montalvo.
And Ms. Hutland, you're here?
Your Honor, I was appointed to 10 unindicted cases. They were indicted on Thursday or Friday last week. That is apparently the plea that's moving forward this morning. So because Mr. Montalvo has been with Mr. Contreras Santos for a long time, we had discussed the case if we were going to go to trial, but since they've negotiated a plea and it was just indicted, he is putting his appearance of counsel to do the plea and move forward.
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right. And then counsel, even though you're just filing your notice of retained counsel today, have you actually been representing Mr. Contreras Santos in cause number 2023 CR 5260 for more than 10 days?
No, Your Honor, it's been less than 10 days, but the evidence in both cases is identical. And I have consulted with my client and he would waive those 10 days.
All right, is that correct, Mr. Santos?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Santos, have you had ample opportunity to confer with Ms. Hetland in your counsel?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Right. And Ms. Hetland, you've had an opportunity to give counsel the information that's needed for this case?
Yes, it's limited. All we had was really the indictment and the original warrant, but it is all tied to a preceding case that apparently is going to be TIC'd. That's why it's kind of jumbled. That case started in 2021. And I think Mr. Montalvo has represented him for quite some time in that case, but the evidence is all correlated and tied in together. In that case, they're proceeding on the newer indicted case.
Yep, that is correct, Your Honor.
All right. All right, thank you.
Okay, may I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you.
So counsel, in this case, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Contreras, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
I believe the state is proceeding on counts 1 through 5, Your Honor, and waiving the remaining counts.
Any objection to the waiver of counts 6 through 25?
No objection.
All right, Mr. Contreras, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand your charge in counts 1 through 5 with possession of child pornography? That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine in each count. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could sentence you up to 10 years in each of the counts and up to a $10,000 fine in each count? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do believe.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Contreras Santos, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Is English your first language?
Second language.
All right. Have you been able to understand all of this paperwork that's in English?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you need an interpreter?
No.
And what's your native language?
Spanish.
Counsel, did you advise your client of the consequences of pleading no contest or guilty in each of the counts in the application of federal immigration law?
Yes, Your Honor. And in fact, court appointed Miss Teresa Cole Nettles to.
Post Davila?
Yes, Judge. And she wrote a Padilla letter for him, and he has a copy of that as well.
All right. Mr. Santos, were you able to adequately confer with Miss Teresa Coles Davila, your immigration attorney, as it relates to this specific case?
Yeah. Yes, yes, sir.
Were you informed of the consequences of entering a plea of no contest or guilty in each of these counts as it relates to your immigration issues?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did that advice include possible consequences such as deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States, and the denial of naturalization?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand the consequences of entering a plea in each of these counts and how it impacts your immigration status?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you believe your client understands the consequences of entering a plea in each of these counts as it relates to his immigration issues?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page, did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, the state is proceed on counts 1 through 5. Punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 10 years in the prison. There's a $0 fine. State opposes your application. They will take in consideration 2022 CR 11150, and there's to be Chapter 62 compliance. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, do you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
It is the state's understanding, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to count 1, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest.
No contest.
Count 2, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest.
No contest.
Count 3, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest.
No contest.
Count 4, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest.
No contest.
Count 5, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest.
No contest.
State any evidence.
The state offers an evidence, states exhibit 1 and its attachments pending any objections.
Any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
Show you what's entitled wavering consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right. So what I can tell you all is there's just a moment. Oh, we have to keep it open because of the air. All right, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding to sentencing, or do you wish to have a PSI?
PSI, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. Can you give me a PSI date? And I'm going to ask that it be expedited. So everyone just give me a moment. Can you mute us, please? All right, counsel. We're going to give you a reset date. What we'll do is we will let you know this afternoon.
Sure, Judge.
Yes, so I'm trying to get the reset date as close as possible and not have it go into September or something like that.
Understood, Your Honor.
So we will let you know this afternoon and you can let your client know. All right, so I'm just gonna have the deputy, can you make sure you hold on to him? Is that possible? Till 1:30. We should know by 1:30, the date they'll be able to give us.
Right, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, as I'm covering for a colleague of mine, I believe one of the items of evidence that was admitted contained sensitive images in an envelope, so I'd just like to move to have those sealed pending the inspection by the court, of course.
Yes.
For the sentence.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right. Is there anything else?
And lastly, I do have a number of night mag rejections. Would you like to do them now or at the time of the sentence?
We can do them at the time of the sentencing, whichever, however you all prefer to do it.
That's fine at the time of sentencing.
Okay, and then to the state, you'll need to file a motion so that the clerks will have it that you're asking that the pornography be sealed.
The seal, a formal motion.
Yes.
Very good. That's right.
All right, thank you.
Great, thank you.
May we be excused, Judge?
Yes, if you can make sure you're back at 1:30 though.
Okay, I will.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
George Ibarra. George Ibarra. Miguel Rangel. Michael Durong. Joshua Mejia. All right, and counsel, you're on this side. Sorry.
Judge, we're here.
Oh, where's your client?
He's
in
in
custody,
custody,
Judge.
Thursday, I believe, is that correct?
It is set for Thursday.
Okay,
We have a
yes.
discovery compliance hearing set for Thursday, Judge, and I'm on vacation. I have a vacation letter on file.
Okay,
Was asking if we could just recall it for the following week.
all right. Do you have all the discovery?
No,
What's missing?
phone records, all the stuff I said last time. I haven't gotten.
We were here
anything.
last time on May for phone, cell phone downloads. And it says no access.
No access. I mean, we did receive,
It's Mr. King. Yes.
we did, no, I mean, on the, this is Joshua Mejia and also Oscar Martinez, co-defendant. And we did receive phone records. Have you not received? the phone
No,
records?
you were supposed, I thought you were supposed to get me a disc.
Oh, I mean, we need a thumb drive from you, so
Okay,
that's what we need from you.
and then there's supposed to be jail calls.
The jail calls, they should have been uploaded or they haven't been. I'll check into that, Judge.
All right, and then the co-defendant statements.
Co-defendant statement?
That's what I have here.
Okay, I.
Oh, there's a
no.
question mark, which
Okay,
means,
okay.
are there co-defendant statements?
Not that I'm aware of, Judge, because I don't believe they were actually interviewed. Or they refused, rather.
All right.
And I'll make sure of that also.
All right, and state, are you prepared to make an offer or no?
No, and I, not at this point. I can make an offer next setting, Judge. It's a little bit more complicated than the average.
Okay.
Murder.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. On Mejia, I need a 45-day reset, please.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge.
No, it's discovery and you all need to confer off record.
Yes, Judge.
All right, August 3rd.
Thank you, Judge. Because we do have to look at the document. And
And Norman, you may need this file because it wasn't on the docket today. All right, for those who are here for the jury trial, we're going to bring you all back at 1:30. So please be here by 1:20. And we're going to start selection right at 1:30. Robert Alvarez. Okay. David Allen Martin. And where is he? Bring them down.
It's in the box. That's.
And counsel, you all are. need to
Oh, we're
stop.
switched, sorry.
Yes. No problem. All right, and are you all handling the sexual assault as well as the promotion?
Yes, Judge, I'm just here for the 705 cases, the sex assault and the, yes, the promotion child.
All right, and criminal trial division, I'm assuming you're going to let the sexual assault and the promotion rule the day?
I told them I would handle. this,
Okay,
Judge.
okay. All right, thanks. All right, so where are we on these cases?
And this is our first setting, Judge, and so I did confer with defense, made sure that they've been able to view the discovery that is uploaded. There is additional discovery that, due to the nature of the offenses, cannot be uploaded, and have discussed with defense setting up a time to meet where I can make that discovery available for him to view. So we are going to set up a time where we can meet to do that, and also additionally discuss a plea bargain offer.
Yes, we would need a month or so to review everything. We should be able to resolve these cases in that time.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. Can you give me a 45-day reset on David Martin? And that's going to be your plea deadline date, so you all need to do your discussion off docket.
Will do, Judge.
Thank you.
All right. All right, August 7th.
Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Judge. May we be excused?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
Michael J. Jerome.
This is Mr. Sheffield's case. We previously stepped up on that, just for the motion for continuance. We had no objection to.
Okay. All right, so where is his client?
His client was present, Your Honor. I'm not sure where he was at.
All right, I think Ms. Ferguson signed the reset
I
form.
believe there was a reset form on his time.
All right, thank you. Yes. Mhm. Who's the attorney on Robert Alvarez? Is your client out? Okay. Miguel Rangel. They're not ready. George Ibarra. Your attorney is not here. Okay, thank you.
Ready for it, Mr. Barr sworn in, are you?
No, he's not.
They're not gonna fix the AC. We're just gonna, yeah. This is preparing us.
This is because somebody in that court said they were cold.
Thank you. I'm glad you investigated that. We need to swear everybody in over there and find out who did that.
I don't know what we ever did to them.
Yes. Well, you know what? We need to call and say it's too cold over there and pretend like we're over there. It's, but you know what? If there's a zombie apocalypse, you're not going to have AC.
It's been too long since we've.
I'll take the chances on that.
Yeah, we got to be prepared. This is just preparing us. I'll go what was that movie with Brad Pitt where the zombies move very fast?
World Z.
That was terrible.
World Z. So if it's World Z, I'm looking around the room, about 99% of I'm going to make it. 99. Do you know why I'm going to make it? Because 99% of the people are probably going to fall, get tripped, or be pushed. Not by me. I'm there to help. But I did go see Transformers.
Was it good?
It was as close to what I remember from the cartoon world as could be.
Yeah, it's a little bit better.
It was. And see, the reason why I can't write a review is because I got to distance myself from it a little bit. Like Dungeons and Dragons, I still think that was a horrible movie, but I haven't written my review because I need more distance. So is she on methadone? All right. Right. Miss Bernal, if you can come forward. All right. Miss Bernal, is there a reason you're taking methadone? For what? All right, so are they weaning you off of that?
But I'm gonna try to do that.
So you're trying to be, everyone, please whisper. So you're trying to wean yourself off that, or they are?
Well, 'cause when I was pregnant, they have to go out and change. It's the baby for that. The other one too, but I had a eruption, my uterus eruption. So that's why the other one was passed, and they want me to go down the slowly because.
All right, I'm not a doctor, but you need to follow the advice, but I know methadone is not something you should be on for the rest of your life. You
Yeah,
understand?
that. I was going down, but then when I found out, it bumped me out because of the.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, thank you.
David Martin. All right. One more minute, yeah, I'll worry about it. Okay. Have a seat.
Hello, Diana. Oh, would you like, you know what, do you have a fan? Do you have a plug for a fan? Can you pass this to her? All right, that's old school, but it has a fan to it. Hi, Mom. Okay, I'll ask you.
I'm talking to the box. Inmates, don't be talking to each other.
All right. ASAP, bye-bye. And Capmeyer, just let me know when they bring your client out. Oh, let's bring him down.
Yes, ma'am.
Could I see the parties on Robert Alvarez? Court is calling 2023 CR 0168C, State of Texas versus Robert Alvarez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Yes, that's
Second thing we called from last week. Yeah.
Judge Hank Wilkins for the state.
Douglas Capper, Mr. Alvarez.
all right. So the court asked that this be called back because I was given information by the defense and information in the PSI report. Mr. Alvarez, I'm normally don't. Well, I do it, but in your case, I can do it. Your brother testified that you have drug issues, that you've been shot before. Just one moment. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Robert Alvarez.
All right. For Mr. Tristan Muros, do you have the keys to his garage?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Where are they?
They were in the evidence in the vehicle.
So the police have the
Police should
keys?
have it then, Judge.
All right, because he wants the keys to his garage back. And state, can you make sure that he has those?
Yes, Judge.
All right, you have a choice. The state is asking that your punishment be assessed at a cap of 5 years. What that means is that the most time I could sentence you to prison would be 5 years. The range of punishment for this offense is up to 20 years in prison. You have a choice. I can give you deferred adjudication, and I will give you deferred adjudication for 8 years. You're going to go into inpatient treatment, or if you would like, I could just sentence you to 4 years. Which do you prefer? This is a problem if he has to think about it. Do you just want to go to prison and do your time?
I'll take the treatment.
Let me stop you right there. Your attorney wants you to take the treatment. This is what I always have to remind myself of, and other people need to remind themselves. You can't give somebody what they want, what you want for their life. You can't make them want that for themselves. It's like the song Harry Hippie. So the question is, do you want treatment? If you don't want it, there's no shame in saying you don't want it because maybe you're not prepared to do it, but it's going to be inpatient treatment. Your life is going to pass you by, whether you're in inpatient treatment or whether you're at the prison. The choice is yours. If you want to go to prison, I will send you to prison for 4 years. The state is asking for 5.
I'll take the treatment.
Okay. All right. Do you have children? I'm going to sentence you to 8 years deferred adjudication. A referral to felony drug court. If not accepted, then safe P. Proof of employment within 30 days of release. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. The UA hotline until further notice, and that's to be upon release. And he's to remain in custody until he's accepted in felony drug court or until he's transferred to safety. 300 hours of community service restitution. How far did you go in school?
10th grade.
Why didn't you graduate?
I was worried about other things. I was being dumb.
What?
I was worried about a lot of other things, trying to get quick money. I was worried about dumb things.
Okay. I'm not going to waive the community service hours. He is going to be ordered to either obtain your GED or some sort of certificate from trade school. You need to start working and improving yourself. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. I'm going to want the MRT and CATs 1 and 2. Is there restitution in this case? There's going to be restitution because this case has been going on for a while, and I know that person had to probably replace their key. So restitution, if any, to Tristan Muros. I'm going to want field visits 1 time per month until further notice. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Is there anything else you need from the court?
No, ma'am.
Is there anything else you need in order to be successful?
No, ma'am.
Showing you what's entitled trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You better start making better decisions in your life. Otherwise, you're looking at 20 years in the prison. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. Laura Romero. Hello. So what is happening with this case?
Your Honor, an offer has been made by the state on this case, but we have not come to an agreement as of yet.
I'm sorry, what?
An offer has been made by the state on this case, but we have not yet come to an agreement.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. I need a 2-week reset on Romero for a plea deadline date. All right, July 11th is going to be your plea deadline date. You'll have to come to court and let the court know if you're accepting the state's offer or not. All right, after you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Daniel Huff. Come forward. All right, what's happening with this case?
Your Honor, I was told he did not check in. I called his name in the gallery. Let me confer with him. I did not realize he was pregnant because present. Because when I called his name, he didn't answer.
All right, thank you. All right, the parties on George Ibarra. All right, Mr. Ibarra, if you come forward. Court is calling 2023 CR 3055, State of Texas versus George Eduardo Ibarra. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Kenton Longacre for Mr. Ibarra.
Are you Mr. Ibarra?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, you received all the discovery. Did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Ibarra, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Counsel, Do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
Off the record. State, I'm sorry, probation, there's no application. All right, Mr. Ibarra, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, we'll waive you the attachment paragraph and proceed on the state jail column.
That's our understanding as well, Judge. We have no objection.
All right, Mr. Ibarra, did you understand you're charged with the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram? That's a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yeah, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
In my opinion, he certainly does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Ibarra, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then this check mark needs to be changed. Here's whiteout. Thank you. Mr. Ibarra, I'm showing you what's entitled plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 11 months in the state jail facility. There are no applications. If you don't turn yourself in, then you're subject to the full range of punishment. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes, that's our understanding, Judge, and we are indeed asking for some time for Mr. Ibarra to get his affairs together. He has a business with a family member. He has a home.
All right, we're going to get to that point. State, is that the agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
Showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do understand.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
There are not, Judge.
Then to the offense, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Stating the evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. State exhibit number 1 with all the statutes.
No objection, Judge.
All right, state, you may be excused. Showing you what's entitled waiving consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state would be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Your Honor.
I think you're not. All right. Counsel, you said that he wanted time, correct?
That's true.
All right, so I'm finding him guilty. And how much time are you requesting?
Mr. Ibarra is requesting 30 days.
All right, so what do you have to do in your life?
I have to pull the things out of my, I have to take the things out of my apartment and I have to go pick up my truck, which is at a mechanics. So those are the things that I have to do basically.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a sentencing date in 2 weeks, please. All right, we'll see you back here on July 10th at 9 a.m. Ms. Ferguson, if you'll give them a reset form, once you sign that, you're excused.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. After he signs the reset form. All right, who's here on, are we ready on Arturo? Just 1 second. You know, the heat is making everything confusing for everybody. Mr. Contreras, is he in custody or on bond? Custody, okay. The heat is getting to me. Mahia, I don't think I'll be able to survive the zombie apocalypse. Uh, 12:30. It may be sooner. Sure. All right, Norma. Norma Contreras is going to come back on July 10th. Yes. Well, you know what? Just 1 second. Let me see. You know what? Put it on the 11th because that'll. He says the week of July 10th, Norma. Just put it on July 13th. And Mahia, if you all could, just give him a reset form in case he gets out.
Jeff, can I have Mr. Bailey over here?
And Norma, if you want to call that attorney and let him know it's going to be July 13th. Just PSI. Michael Kilgore. Who's here on Michael Lee Kilgore?
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
I'm so
appreciate it.
sorry to hear about everything that happened.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate it.
All right, the aggravated assault, is that family violence?
Yeah, no, yeah. Oh, yeah, it is.
Okay. So cell phones were released to this defense attorney.
Yes.
An offer was tendered. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
All right, and counsel, I know that you've been out, so I'm going to extend your plea deadline date because I imagine you have some things to talk to your client about.
Appreciate it, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. On this case, is 3 weeks enough time, counsel?
Yes. Yes.
Right. If you can give them 3-week reset for plea deadline date. All right. Counsel, your plea deadline date is going to be July 18th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. Take care of yourself. All right, Norma, the people we have remaining are Jesse Inaho. So that's coming back at 1:30. Alexander Williams coming back at 1:30. Wardell Lemon, 1:30. Richard Thomas, 1:30.
Wasn't here earlier.
All right, so we're,
The state filed a motion.
all right, I haven't heard that. Nobody's asked to approach.
Want to address it, Mike?
Well, if people are ready and they have the motion for continuance.
And we did previously file a motion. We did file a new notarized version of the motion this morning.
All right. Could I see the file on Richard Thomas? Do y'all have the file on Richard Thomas? Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you. All right, court is calling. Where's Richard Thomas? Court is calling 2021 CR 4470, State of Texas versus Richard Thomas. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
For the state.
Dr.
Bias on behalf of Richard Thomas.
Are you Mr. Thomas?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the state has filed a motion for continuance. Defense, have you had a chance to review the motion for continuance?
I was just handed it, Your Honor, but I'm aware of it, yes.
All right, defense, do you have any objection to the state's motion?
I do, Your Honor. This is currently, I believe, the second or third continuance that the state has requested, and we're ready for trial, Your Honor. This case has been lingering since last year at Impact, and we haven't had the ability to have this case solved. So if my client wants to have this resolved, Your Honor, I mean, we're ready.
All right. And I do see there was a motion for continuance on April 17th that was denied. Was that the state's motion for
It
continuance?
was, Your Honor. It was due to the unavailability of a separate witness. However, we did proceed on the following day.
All right, the court has reviewed the state's motion for continuance. Motion for continuance is denied. All right, come back at 1:30.
Yes, Your Honor.
Diana, for that case. Ruben, what day does the motion discuss?
April 17th or 18th.
All right, so Norma Thomas is coming back at 1:30. Jonathan Boyd. 1:30.
I thought Jonathan already continued to July 11th.
All right, what date was it given? Okay. All right, then we have Daniel Forrest, 1:30. John Casanova, 1:30. Raul Reyes, 1:30. Pete Garcia, 1:30. Leonardo Rosales, 1:30. Ricardo Flores, where is his attorney? Oh, all right, thank you. All right, and Steve Terrazas, that's 1:30. Carlos Madrigal, that's 1:30.
Can we do a plea, Your Honor?
Yes, if you all get the paperwork done. But the court is taking its recess at 12:30.
No.
Mhm.
I don't know if you have the file on Damian Huff, Your Honor, but we conferred and reverted to an S.
All right, Damian Huff. All right, what's happening with this case?
Your Honor, we confer, the state has made a preliminary offer. I think there's still work to be done on both sides, and the state may amend their offer, so we could get a reset to allow both sides to finish working up this case and decide how it's going to proceed.
All right, do you have all the discovery?
I do believe so, Your Honor.
All right, why were you late?
Just due to the bus, no other reason, ma'am.
All right, so I used to take the bus as well. You need to take the earliest bus. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a 30-day reset for a plea deadline date and Damian Huff. All right. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused. Your plea deadline date is July 25th. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh, this is done. They're coming back at 1:30. Hello.
I'm gonna have a plea, Judge.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm gonna have a plea.
Okay. Ricardo Flores. Who's the attorney on Ricardo Flores? Court is calling 2022 CR 9936B, State of Texas versus Ricardo Flores. Can our parties announce for the record for the state?
Jason, Your Honor.
Defense?
Hector Groves Jr.
Are you Ricardo Flores?
Yes, sir.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
We have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Flores, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do waive, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, we'll proceed on a lesser included of fraud, use, or possession of ID info, less than 5 items. In a sense, waiving the elderly enhancement. And proceeding on the state jail.
Any objections?
None, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Flores, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with fraudulent use of items, 5 items or less as a state jail felony? The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Sure.
Did you understand that you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I feel that he does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do.
Mr. Flores, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No,
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial, showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on the lesser included state jail felony offense of fraudulent use of items 5 or less. They're asking that your punishment be assessed at 39 days in the Bexar County Jail under 12.44 of the Penal Code. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes,
Defense, is that the plea?
it is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, are there many such motions?
None, Your Honor.
Then to the lesser included offense, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? What?
Guilty, Your Honor.
State any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. State exhibit number 1 with all his attachments.
No objections to the defense.
Showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to a jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding to sentencing?
We are, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Nothing, Judge.
All right, who is Arthur Tovar to you? I'm sorry,
Um,
what did you say?
Your Honor, Arthur Tovar was an individual that had picked up Mr. Flores to help with some day labor stuff. This incident basically took place where somebody else took some checks. Mr. Flores thought he was doing something different, but understands he put his name on it. He signed the check, presented it to be cashed, and ended up being charged with this case because it was his name on the instrument. But these were individuals that he was associated with just for the day to carry out some yard work.
All right, The court will find you guilty, sentence you to 39 days in the Bear County Jail under 1244, give you credit for any time served, and there's to be no contact with Arthur Tovar. Showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. You're going to have to make better decisions. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe Susan.
Yes. All right, do we have more plea paperwork that's ready? Okay. Okay. All right, can I see the parties on Joshua Paniagua? And probation, this is an application. Court is calling 2023 CR 3067 State of Texas versus Joshua Paniagua. Could I have the parties announced for the record for the state?
Travis Banks to the state of Texas.
Defense.
Tony Jimenez from Mr.
And are
Paniagua.
you Mr. Paniagua?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you pronounce your last name?
Paniagua?
All right, I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna, counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor. I had.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Showing you what's entitled application for community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
The state moves to proceed only on count 2, paragraph A.
Any objection to the waiver of the other paragraph?
None, Your Honor.
I'm going to show you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers of affidavit and admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of burglary of a habitation with intent to commit assault? That's a second-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
He is.
Has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on count 2, paragraph A, punishments be assessed at 5 years in the prison. There's a $0 fine, GPS partial for 180 days, affirmative finding of family violence, the BIPP course and parenting course. Did you understand that to be your plea?
I believe I was supposed to get probation.
None of that's checked off.
Yes, ma'am.
No, I mean, it hasn't been checked off here.
Oh,
Oh, that's okay. So is your understanding that the state is recommending community supervision?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, that's the plea?
yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
None, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 5 years. There be a TAP evaluation and no contact with Justine Bonda. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offense in count 2, paragraph A, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor, state up for states exhibit 1 and its attachments.
No objections.
Showing you what's entitled waiving consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, have you talked to the complainant?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is the complainant aware of this?
The complainant has not been able to speak with the state.
All right,
Complainant has warrants.
okay. All right, defense, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor, I think after review, the client is taking responsibility for his actions and we would respectfully ask the court to follow the plea agreement.
All right, sir, do you understand that she does not want you anymore?
Yes, ma'am.
So why do you keep going back to her place?
Well, because I got custody of my kids and she's not supposed to be having custody of without outside of a facility without supervision.
Well, that's when you handle that on the civil side. You don't just go to somewhere where you to have no contact. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
If you have contact with her while you're on probation out here, you're looking at 5 years prison. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
She does not want you anymore. She does not love you. Well, maybe she still loves you. I don't know. But what I know is she does not want you anymore. And if she tells you she wants you, then you need to say, I understand that. But the judge is saying this relationship is over. So do you understand?
Yes,
Your
ma'am.
relationship is over.
Yes, ma'am.
If you don't want that relationship to be over, then that means that you wish to go to prison.
Ma'am.
All right. Are you employed?
No, ma'am.
When's the last time you had employment?
2017.
How are you supporting yourself? That money tattoo on your arm, you can't use that for cash at the store.
I'm waiting for SSI.
For what?
I got bipolar disorder, PTSD, because I got stabbed in my neck.
When?
And, depression.
So you've been waiting for SSI since
No, I
2017?
just recently went to go, when I went to go get my social security card, but gotta wait, there's a long line. They're
It
busy.
appears that everybody is getting SSI. So do you have a mental health diagnosis?
I was seeing a psychiatrist out there just now,
What psychiatrist?
Robert Jimenez.
And where is his facility located? All right, I'm gonna sentence you to 5 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 5 years. GPS partial. You're allowed to work and attend medical appointments. MIC evaluation. That can be out of custody. If you miss any of these appointments, they're going to occur in custody. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
When's the last time you used any drugs
Uh,
before being taken into custody?
maybe like 3 months.
And what drugs were you using?
Marijuana.
And what else?
Okay.
Okay. We'll do a referral to felony drug court. If you miss that appointment, you're going to go into custody. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
TAP evaluation. UA hotline. Do a referral to Center for Healthcare Services. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Where are your children now?
I have no idea.
How many do you have?
8.
What are their ages?
I got 2 newborns, one's 2, one's 1.5, and then the other one's 17, 12, and 11. And then the other one's 10.
And are all these children, their mother, is this Justine Banda?
No, she's not the mother of my children.
Oh, so where are they?
They're with the mother of my children.
You just said that you were at Justine Banda's house because there were some custody issues.
With my baby mama. Justine Banda was her friend who does not even reside at the residence.
Let's say mother of our children.
Mother of my
That sounds better.
Yes, ma'am.
So are you saying that the mother of your children was with Justine Banda?
Yes, ma'am.
How did you know she was with Justine Banda?
Didn't know. I just went over there to pick up my child.
Your story makes no sense to me. How did you know your children were over there? Did Justine Banda pick up the phone and call you and say, hey, your children are here?
No, I talked to the grandma. We're supposed to have custody. We're supposed to have shared custody. And she told me that she was at my baby mama, at the mother of my children's house. So that's why I went over there to go pick them up. And it was my day to see them.
All right, proof of employment within 30 days. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Parenting classes with Rainbow. Field visits 1 time per month until further notice. And you're saying you don't know where any of your children are right now?
They told me not to have contact with the mother of my children. So,
Well, I mean, no, you can't have contact with Justine Banda. Is she the mother of your children?
well, the order was for both of them at the time. But she's not the mother of my children. No, no.
So you don't know where your children are. They're missing.
They're not missing. They're with the mother. They're with the mother.
All right. Rashawn, can you see and have probation, make sure they see what's happening with these children? Because nobody appears to know where they are. It seems maybe there's an order for them to be with the grandmother, but people are just passing children around to random people. Is there anything else he needs?
Is there a bill contact? And if so, who exactly?
Justine Banda, Banda.
Are there any community service hours?
Yes, we're going to do 200 hours of community service hours restitution, and none of those are going to be waived.
Nothing else on my income.
Is there anything else you need from the court
Uh,
to be successful?
anger management classes.
All right. So we're going to do anger management classes. Thank you for telling me that.
Well,
Anything else you need?
It's not on top of my head right now.
All right. If there's something else you need, let probation know.
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. I'm so sorry. Just one moment. There's to be an affirmative finding of family violence. It's just so hot today. And instead of anger management, there's going to be the BIPP course. And did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal and you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And because this is an affirmative finding of family violence in a conviction, you're not allowed to own, possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Excuse me.
All right, everyone, we're taking our break. So for the people who have pleas, you need to be back at 1:20.
Tony, can you turn in the receivers?
It's just so hot.